What a great day! We'd been to a county show and all the deer had won prizes. The two does, Comet and Cupid, won the prettiest pair. Prancer won a prize for the most bashful. And Rudy had run in a race and won. Although the deer could no longer fly since the stardust had worn off, Rudy had now been crowned as the fastest deer in the county. I wasn't there when the man came to kidnap the deer. They were dozing by the front door. Suddenly, a man snarled at Prancer, "Get in the van!" Prancer was confused. This wasn't right. He turned to walk off. Too slow. The man grabbed him and pushed him in, struggling and beating his antlers until the van rocked noisily. Rudy and Comet hurried toward the noise, and the man grabbed them both and pushed them in the van. Inside, they crashed frantically about and shouted for help. Cupid kicked out wildly at our captain, but he just sneered. "Got you all, just as Mick ordered. You'll love being part of Mick's racing yard." They were unloaded into a bare yard with a trough of mouldy plants. Rudy sniffed it and said, "I won't win any races eating that." The only friendly face was the yard cat, who said, "You'd better eat it. He'll beat you if you don't win." A man strutted arrogantly down the steps. "I'm your new owner, Mick Snow. I'm known as Mick the Fixer, and I always get what I want. You'd better do exactly what I say. You two will win races for me. And as for you two," looking scornfully at Prancer and Cupid, "you look useless. You can teach my son to ride. He's going to be a jockey." The boy scrambled clumsily onto Cupid's back and pulled hard on the reins, making her sidle and hop anxiously. The boy yelped and fell slowly to the ground, lying there angrily hissing, "You did that on purpose. I don't like you. I'll try the other one." Astride Prancer, the boy shouted, "Dad, this one's stupid. He won't move." He kicked Prancer hard. Prancer went into shock. The boy was shouting at him. What should Prancer do? He just didn't know. He was terrified. More shouts. Prancer panicked. He put his head down and barked and barked. The boy was thrown high in the air. "That does it. You're no good," growled the man. "I'll sell you off tomorrow." The four deer stood in a culled, miserable group, left only with memories of the happy life they'd lost and the awful thought of being sold off separately. The ice was melting, but Comet was still shivering. "I'll warm you," said the cat, and jumping on Comet's back, she lay down to spread her furry warmth. It's not easy to sleep with a cat on your back. It wriggled about and kept waking her up. A sunny morning raised their spirits. The cat was looking thoughtful. She said, "I'm sorry for you, and I've an idea how you can escape. Come this way, and if you do get out, go to the Old Manor Refuge for lost reindeer, and they'll help you find your way home. Now, come along this way. Follow me closely." The cat led them to a thick barrier hedge and disappeared into it. She called back, "You've got to believe you can get through. If you doubt yourself, you won't make it." "We'll never get through. Don't give up. Just push harder." "From here," said the cat, "go west to find the refuge. And if you're lost, ask the wild deer." Having profusely thanked the cat, they were now on the run. They headed west on quiet roads through the town, avoiding cars and people. To their surprise, they met two very young deer, who stammered, "Please help us. We were messing about and we fell off the bank. We've got to get back up there to our family." "Sure, we can help. How about you jump on our backs and spring up onto the wall? Okay, ready? Jump. That's it. Up, up, up." Safely on top, the youngsters called out, "Thanks and good luck for your journey." Being on the run was exciting but dangerous. They'd head for the refuge and hope the way would be trouble-free. Beyond the town lay miles of woodlands. "We can stay hidden in here." The woods were tangled and crisscrossed with streams that the deer jumped over or waded through. Rudy hopped onto a fallen tree trunk over a stream and skipped along it above the water. "Try this, the easy way," he called to the others. What a show-off. But Comet was already behind him. She'd follow him anywhere. Daintily dancing across, she said, "This is fun. Even if I fall off, I'll only get wet." Soon, all the deer were using fallen tree bridges to make their way through the marshy woodland, weaving nimbly along, laughing with the exhilaration of their newfound freedom. Halfway along one tree trunk above a marsh, the trunk became very slippery. Rudy and Comet were running across, skidding and leaping for the bank. Cupid was sliding, teetering, unbalanced and shrieking. Prancer was behind her, unable to help her. She lunged for the bank, just as Prancer lost his footing. He lurched sideways and with a great splash, he fell in the muddy water. Unhurt except for his injured dignity, because noble stags shouldn't fall off tree trunks, though he quite enjoyed being the centre of attention. He washed off the mud, trotted out to a dry, open space, and shook the water off himself. Laughter and cheers rang out from a group of wild deer who'd watched the escapade. "Well done! Quite a show! None of us ever go that way. Why didn't you use the path?" "It's getting late. Would you like to stay with us tonight?" They shared stories that evening, and the wild deer explained the way to the lost deer refuge. "Why don't you just live here with us?" Rudy replied, "Because it's not our destiny. We may not know our destiny, but we know we'll find it." The wild deer said, "Keep going west. There's a fast, deep river in a gorge. You'll have to look for a way across. The final river crossing is easy. There's an old fortified bridge, and the refuge is nearby. It'll take you a day to get there." It was a shock when they came to the river gorge. They hadn't imagined it would be this deep and dangerous. Evening was approaching. It was getting dark. "Is that a fallen tree up there over the river?" "That's a way across. If we dare. Let's go see." "I don't dare. Nor do I," the does whimpered. "I'll go first," announced Rudy, and hurried forward, hesitating at the edge. "Yes, we can do this. Don't look down." He made his way carefully along the trunk, Comet as usual at his heels. There was no turning back. The water far below was a churning torrent. Despite their fear, they all knew they could do it. Oh, so carefully the four deer crossed over the gorge. Prancer resolutely muttered, "I won't slip, I won't fall." His relief at reaching the other side was overwhelming. All the deer felt exhausted, but joyful. They'd crossed the gorge and conquered their fear. After a night's rest, they found the way that led straight to the medieval bridge. They were nearly at the refuge. Would they get help to go home?